Right then, I think I will kick off today with a mid build review for the Bretonnian box set. Now, don't get me wrong, the models for the Bretonnian box set are a good 10 years newer than the Tomb King one. And as a result, you can see that the details are finer and things like that. But as you go through, I've noticed a kind of, is it, I'm finding it hard not to use the word disappointing here. And I don't really want to use that word, but it feels like for someone like myself who really enjoys modeling things and posing and kit bashing, there's something that I'm not quite happy with about this Bretonnian kit. I love the models, but what I don't love is the kind of very limited positioning of the units themselves, the actual core body part. Now, I believe that at this point during the the kind of Games Workshop's ethos was to start moving towards more singular posing models, and you can see that carried on with things like Warhammer 40k, like the Primaris, where you've got things like the what's it called now? My brain will activate today. The Age of Sigmar models, again, you've got some options, but they're very much a static body. What that means is that we've lost the ability with these Bretonnians to really make them look interesting to my mind. Sure, you can choose different helmets. You can see over here, I've gone for the round helmets on this unit. And then over here, I've tried to go for the kind of the one without the brims, basically, for the most part. And as I said, what's kind of happened is it's left me feeling like I can't put them in dynamic positions like I would want to. I can't give the impression that these guys are, responding to a charge, say, because it's very difficult to get the arm into that position. I've managed it a tiny bit over here. You can see that I've put his arm over here a little bit more downwards, and then this one, it's slightly more forwards. But when I tried to put them into a proper dynamic position to make them look like they were responding to a battle, the arm just doesn't really slot in the correct way to my mind. And I'll show an example of a couple of different poses that I've gone for. So I've gone for things like this. The problem is, if you start like really pulling that arm downwards, let me see if I can find one of these here. So basically, in order to get this, let me try and get it focused, kind of heading downwards, you start losing the elbow. And on top of that, oh gosh, it doesn't really want to focus on this. You start to see the kind of the top part of the arm. So it's not that you can't do it. I just found that you can't do it as well, to my mind. Nowhere near as well as you can with the skeletons. And let me just see if I can show you. So what would happen is up to about, say, this point, it's fine. But if you wanted to make it look like it was responding to a charge, I don't feel that it really does. All it looks like is it just makes him look like he's walking with his spear outwards, with his halberd outwards. That's how I feel they look. They don't look like they're responding to the battle. They just look like they're marching in the battle. You've got a bit more control with your leadership units. So as you can see here, I've got my command squad, for want of a better word, my command part of the, and they look better. They look like they're doing things, and the same over here. You can see these have got a slightly different appearance, and that's great. You see, I haven't put the shields on yet, and that's another thing. When I put the shields on these, it just adds to the illusion that they're just kind of marching rather than battling. So I don't know. I like the models. I just feel like because because they're such singular positions, there's not as much excitement in the units themselves. And you can see there, it's very much all the bowmen look like they're pointing forwards, and just the ability, I don't know, to even if some of these models had like their bows aiming up, you know, that would be wonderful, wouldn't it? So you could have your whole back rank aiming up and over, because maybe I'm no expert at medieval warfare, but I don't believe bowmen shoot forward. So yeah, just something to make that a bit more interesting. Now, don't get me wrong though, you do have some really lovely things here, like, you know, these what are they called? There's probably a technical term for this, you know, like a spiked barrier. Moving across to the knights, they're better. I have to admit, there's a lot more character to these knights. You can twist the body if you want to. I did, however, mention in my initial review, one thing I didn't like is that the arm was physically moulded to the body. And again, just allowing that to move freely and maybe have different positions for that arm would have greatly improved these units. So I feel like I'm being highly critical of this, and I'm not doing it because I want to be a bad basically and be one of those bad faith reviewers that you see. I don't believe in bad faith reviews. What I believe in is critiquing things and thinking about what myself as a wargamer wants, but also what myself as a hobbyist wants. And a hobbyist, for me, there should be a certain amount of ease in making your armies your own. So, and don't get me wrong, I mean, if I look at these horses here, these are beautiful, oddly enough. I know there's not many positions for them, and, you know, in a lot of ways it's probably a good idea that you can't put your horses in multiple positions, but the actual quality of the miniatures, the sculpts themselves, I can't fault. The quality of the sculpts is beautiful. The army is beautiful. It looks the part. I want more control over what I do. Now, I have no doubt that the Bretonnian range is probably not going to get updated. Even if Warhammer Old World is a success, they are not going to update this for a long time. What I don't want seeing is some of the older armies lose their flexibility. Now, I'm hoping to get an Orc and Goblin tribe of battalion, and I know for a fact that those older models have so much flexibility to them in their appearance. It's going to be amazing, because I'm going to be able to put the arms where I want to. They're going to look like they're responding and fighting and moving. And as much as I think this Bretonnian army looks beautiful, and it does look beautiful, I am not saying I hate it, but it's just too static for me. Maybe you disagree with me, and, you know, you're free to disagree with me and pop your comments in below if you think I'm wrong. And if you agree with me, it's nice to hear that there's sort of some kind of confirmation there. So please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.